Hello and welcome to the Year 6 Maths workshop. The aim of this workshop is to help you to understand what the expected level in maths looks like at the end of Key Stage 2, to know how we cover the different maths objectives in school and to understand how to support your child at home with their maths. I'm going to jump to the end of the year and talk about SATs because that's where we're heading to in Year 6. In maths, the children sit 3 papers, an arithmetic paper and 2 reasoning papers. The arithmetic paper basically does what it says on the tin. The children have 30 minutes to complete the test and it's worth 40 marks. The questions are short questions, most of them, and they test their knowledge and ability to calculate accurately and quickly. So that would be addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and there are also questions to do with fractions. We spend a lot of time in Year 6 practicing arithmetic. We do arithmetic every single day, and once a week we do an equivalent of a half paper, a shortened arithmetic paper, and the children really like trying to beat their own scores and improve their performance. It's all about being quick and accurate. The reasoning papers, there are 2 reasoning papers and they're both very similar to each other. They test the children's understanding and ability to apply their understanding to unfamiliar problems. Although we do spend some time practicing what the questions would look like, our mastery flow model that we use in school to teach maths helps to prepare the children for this. In the autumn term, we spend a lot of time securing those number skills. We spend the first couple of weeks doing place value and making sure we understand where decimals fit and where large numbers fit. We then move on to the 4 operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. For each of the operations, I've included a slide that shows how we build the concepts from concrete, pictorial to abstract. I've included a slide which shows you what that operation looks like in Year 6 and also the types of questions that we give them in order to firm up their understanding. As you can see, in Year 6 we're using bigger numbers, more numbers, and also we're using decimals. In Year 6 we do a lot more work on division, so the children not only learn how to do short division, but they also learn how to divide when you have a number with a decimal place, and also long division, so that's when you're dividing by a 2-digit number. Because the numbers get bigger in Year 6, we start to teach them more formal methods. So by this stage, the children have got a really clear and sound understanding of the concepts involved with place value and exchanging numbers. So we teach them shorter methods so that they can do it more quickly and more accurately. Just like all the other years in the school, we use the same mastery flow model. We start off by building concepts, by showing the children. They can use, even in Year 6, we use counters and manipulatives in order to properly understand what those numbers represent and what happens when you perform those operations on the numbers. We then move on to do, where the children practice the concept that they've learnt and become more fluent in performing it. So they can have that presented to them in different ways, but basically they are still just practicing what they've learnt in the show part of the lesson. Then we move on to think, where the children test out their understanding of the concept. So they're often challenged with ideas such as what's the same and what's different. Can the children find a rule to explain what it is that they've been doing? In this example, there are two multiplication calculations. At first sight, the calculations look very similar. They've got the same digits in them. But when the children work it out, they can see that the first calculation, multiplying by 7, gives a much bigger answer, more than twice the answer in the second calculation. So the children learn using mathematical language how to explain this, and they also have to show by writing out the calculation or drawing a diagram if that's appropriate to show their understanding of the problem. We then move on to explain, where the children once again have to use their mathematical vocabulary, but they also use other parts of their mathematical knowledge. And finally, the children do much more challenging problem-solving tasks, where they are presented with unfamiliar problems, things that they haven't seen before, and they have to use all their mathematical understanding to make sense and work out how to solve those problems. This really does prepare them for the SATs at the end of the year. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, then email me on the Year 6 email address. And thank you for listening.